Yo, what's going on? What's going on, man? Y'all come on in right quick.
Let's
Come on
do
in right quick,
you.
man. We checking the temperature 2 times today.
Yeah, man.
We
Double
check
dose.
we got we checking on fans right now, dude. Cause we know the injury report and the Falcon Friday update coming on late on tonight. But we're gonna
hmm
stop it in the middle of the damn day and check the temperature in the room, man. Cause we've been getting some crazy comments in our YouTube on our YouTube videos, man. So we got to come in and check temperature, see what's going on, because it seems like it's losing and the way things are going right now. Some Falcon fans they losing it, man. But you can't lose it because at the end of the day, it's just a game of football, man. You got to stay
We got to
respectful.
hold on.
And you got to keep your head on straight at all times and stay on your pivot, man. Like I always say. But you know what to do, Chris.
Oh yeah, man. Like you said, it's been a few comments, and my thing is, I respect everybody's opinion, but I still would like for everyone to be as respectful to one another as we possibly can. There's so much disrespect already in the world, and even in sports, and we try our best to not, instigate that anymore. I mean, of course, yes, we have ups and downs with our team, and then we talk about it right here. Different suggestions, ideas, talking points. Whether you feel like it's water cooler or not, but the most thing we try to do is we just respect one another and have respectful opinions, even if we disagree. And we've had to address this once before, but it's just like lately, it's just like Smitty said, just been wild. Some of the things that just been said, and we just want to clear some things up and just all get back on the same page, because at the end of the day we are all Falcon fans. So
Facts.
rise up from
Uncle Lou in
Germany.
Germany, man. Uncle Lou done travel to Germany, man. Have a good time, my guy.
Yes,
Do your thing,
sir.
man. Tell nephew we
I
said
love
hello, man. Tell nephew we said hello.
it. Have a great game and stay safe and stay healthy.
Hey, I like that avatar too, Uncle Lou. He got the Chucky up there, man. I like that, man.
Right, you seen it, right?
Yeah, Chucky. I like that,
Miss
man. I
Carey
like that.
checking in as well, saying, hey, Smitty
Miss
and
Kid,
Chris
Miss
must
Kid.
win game for the third week in a row. I pray our Falcons can turn it around. This season is slipping away, sadly. Hit that like button, everyone, please. Yes, thank you. hmm
That's what I'm talking about, man. Yeah, Uncle Lou, man. Enjoy yourself, man. You only
hmm
live once, man. So enjoy yourself to the max. Like I
Oh,
said, just stay safe over there, man, because it's crazy everywhere in this world, man.
it is, but
Everything is copycat. Where you see criminals in one spot, you will see them in another.
hey, but make sure you eat good out there, though. Make sure you eat
Facts.
lovely out there.
Facts.
Said I
I had a
pray.
buddy, man. He said he went to Germany, man, but he said he didn't like the food.
I've heard that as well. I have heard that as well.
One of my
So
good friend, man, he was, and this was he was, I think he was much younger. He was
right.
on some kind of program in college where they traveled over there, and he said the food was, it wasn't his thing. I'm not gonna say terrible. He just said it wasn't his thing.
Right.
He
Shoot,
said
I
it's
know.
kind of good. Uncle Lou said kind of good, man. So hey,
Right.
I'm gonna take your word for it,
It's
Uncle Lou.
different. They have different portions than what we have out here, and
Right.
it's different things that they don't use that we use over here. So it is
Facts.
different. I know my nephew, he played football over there, so he would just he always used to talk about the culture and how it is over there and stuff. So it's just like, yeah, and seeing different things. So yeah, it's different over there than it is over here. But hey, man, what an experience. Some people don't even get a
Facts.
chance to do it at all. So yeah, enjoy that.
Facts. Facts. But hey man, we're gonna talk about the offense first. We're gonna start it off a little simple, man. We ain't gonna jump into the fan portion of the show. We're gonna give it time to marinate and simmer because and we're not gonna snap on nobody. We just gonna, talk
Oh
to
no,
y'all
no,
like
no, I ain't doing
like
that.
grown folks, and we're gonna respect y'all like we expect to be respected. But Chris came up with a dope find on the internet, man,
Oh yeah,
about the Falcons offense. And man, we've talked about the Falcons offense all season basically, and how it's been running, what's been going on with Michael Penix's progress, Zach Robinson inconsistent play calling, clock management with Raheem. I mean, I can
yeah.
go on and
Talked
on.
about. talked about it on and on and on. I'm telling you, like seriously about just the hamstrung offense and what it has been like and where we're ranking right now. Like this is really serious. And I know some people like to see numbers and use analytics. And I got a little something for you. And I gotta thank my girl Miss Carey for this as well. But this just illustrates where the offense is right now and where we're ranking after 9 weeks. So without further ado, Smitty, if you would do the honor, sir.
Yeah, so this is where we at, man. Let me get this off the screen right quick.
All right, just y'all.
Okay.
Yeah, man. As y'all see, man, ranking offensive play callers through week 9 here. And you see who's at the top and you see all the way down at the bottom. Look at the Aints. But
well, that's not a surprise. The Saints really not a surprise.
Yeah,
but go ahead. I speak on it in a minute. Go ahead.
The Aints and Kellen Moore are at the bottom. That's the very base of the NFL, last team in the NFL. Clint Kubiak is the cream of the crop, and his offensive play calling and diversity within the offense is the cream of the crop of the NFL. So you see all the different coordinators, and it's so interesting for the Falcons because we've already gone against Josh McDaniels in that offense. We're going against Shane Steichen, and now this coming week in the number 2 offensive play callers. And then we still have to face Clint Kubiak's offense this year too. So defense is definitely still going to be tested. But more importantly, when you start coming down, you see that everybody's going one way, and then you start seeing teams going the opposite direction. That's when you start seeing that the play calling is not up to par. And guys, you see that the Carolina Panthers are just above us with Dave Canales, and then you have Zach Robinson. Zach Robinson is only ahead of Zach Taylor, Bo Hardigree, Kevin Stefanski, Kevin O'Connell, and Kellen Moore.
And the crazy thing about it, Chris, the 2 teams in front of us, we lost to both of those teams. We're here really the 3 teams above that because the 49ers and Kyle Shanahan, which is something that I definitely wasn't expecting. But you got to see, this is the thing about it, sometimes numbers don't tell the whole story. If you look about what's been going on in the league, Carolina's been struggling at the quarterback position. Miami has been struggling as a team, and they got back on track against us. You see them get blowed out against the Ravens.
So bro, really, the Panthers got right against us. Right. They started winning more games after they beat us. Remember, they were 0-2.
Right. So, but, as I look at this list too, man, I'm looking at some of the names that I've been talking about for a while about offensive coordinator position. I'm looking at Todd Monken, Joe Brady, Greg Roman. You can look at Greg Roman too because he's in Los Angeles with the Chargers. Brian Schottenheimer, even though that team's defense is bad, they still got one of the top offenses.
They got some playmakers down there too, though. CeeDee Lamb, of course. Now they got George Pickens down there.
Javonte Williams, the running back.
Yes, Jake, the tight end. I'm so
Ferguson. Jake Ferguson.
Jake Ferguson, who was having a monster year, by the way, this year for them. So yes, he's finding ways to use them. You also see first-year head coach Liam Cohen. Remember him? Yeah, he's up there as well. And an old head coach of ours. Look who's number 4.
Arthur Smith. That was the biggest surprise. I told Chris, what the hell the world is coming to? But as I told y'all, man, sometimes it's better. You're better than as a coordinator than a head coach, and it seems like that's where Arthur Smith fits. Now, that can be true for the NFL, but depending on what happens in North Carolina, I expect Arthur Smith to be their next head coach. Why? Because he's an alumni, and 2, he fits what they've been trying to do forever, and that's running football, something that they like to do. And a perfect example, Marion Hampton, Los Angeles Chargers running back, comes from North Carolina. I can remember back in the days, Natron Means. So, I mean, Carolina has been known to run the football. Even in the late 90s, early 2000s, when they got back to glory being one of the top teams in the league for 2 or 3 years, running football was just their blueprint. But one name go from Arthur Smith to the top to the bottom of the list is Zach Taylor is another surprise because as I'm looking at what's going on with the Bengals, man, they think they're 3-6.
Well, you gotta think about it. It's saying diversity.
Go ahead.
It ain't really a lot of diversity out there because okay, it's either going to Jamar Chase or Jamar
I got
Chase.
you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, T. Higgins gets his too, but you think about the quarterback is gone. So they rocking with Joe Flacco. So you probably got to, and then they had to bring Joe Flacco in. So you kind of had to like simplify things before you be able to open it up for him to get him used to it. Even though he's a veteran, you still got to work with his skill set. That's so I do give a grain of salt with that, but it's still at the end of the day. That's why, like I said, that diversity, and they're basically saying that your offense can be predictable, and that's what we're saying. That's what we're saying and seeing. You can see it. Same thing with Mike McDaniel. He doesn't have a few of his pieces down there. We already know the ball is going to what's my man named Jaden Waller, or it's going to their running back. But so some of that has to do with injury. We had injuries, but now I'm trying to figure out where in the world is like Darnell Mooney in this offense, a guy who almost had 1,000 yards last year. He was 8 yards away from 1,000 last year. And he just falls off the map completely the next year. Yes, he was dealing with injuries, but he's been back for multiple weeks now. And his only catch last week was the play action pass, and I just don't understand that. He's really like an afterthought in this offense.
Yeah,
but that's strange to me. Just like I said again, he was 8 yards off from 1,000 yards. You brought him in to be a difference maker, and I just don't understand how he's not getting the ball. Also, I don't understand how you're not continuously finding ways to get Kyle Pitts the ball. I look at other offenses and other tight ends, and I'm sorry. Maybe I need to go, I don't know, touch some grass or something like that about it. But I really feel some type of way when I see other offenses using their tight ends who are not even nearly as athletic, dominant, speed-wise, anything like that. It makes me upset seeing other tight ends being more productive than Kyle Pitts. When I know what ability, if we're just talking about ability alone, Kyle Pitts should be right up there. And I'd be just perfect example. Now, even though they blanketed him last night, the Raiders, it was a play going across the middle to where Brock Bowers got wide open, and they found him streaking across the middle, and I just was like, man. And even with all that talent, and even though Brock Bowers is one of one, he's still not even Kyle Pitts, athletic wise. And I just be like, man. But that was just me getting on my soapbox for a second. My bad, y'all. Right now, though, honestly, like I said, with this offense, y'all, we just have got to get better. This offense is just letting you know that, yes, some things can be on the quarterback, because I don't want people just to feel like I'm just, Smitty, he'll be back in, y'all. But I'm just, like, me personally, I don't want people to feel like I'm just jumping on one guy and one guy only. There's collective blame around for this offense, honestly, even all the way down to our quarterback, who is still learning and growing, So it's not all on Zach. I feel like it's mostly on Zach, but it's some on Michael Penix as well. We got to keep it real about that.
Yeah,
everybody has their own. Oh, Smitty, you back? What's up, bro?
I'm back, man. Technical difficulties, man.
Yeah, but everybody has their own percentage of blame within this offense. Nobody is coming out smelling like daisies. So Smitty, what you got? Anything else you got on about this offensive play calling through week 9?
Yeah, man. At the end of the day, as a collective, man, everybody gets blamed. Nobody's exempt. And the reason why we give Zach Robinson most of the blame because we feel like Michael Penn development is a little bit behind. Because as me and Chris talked, before we came on air, he only has 8 touchdown passes in 8 games. That is pretty terrible. That's pretty terrible. And the bad part about it, even worse, he had 5 coming in the last week, and he had 3 last week. So that makes it
with
look
Drake
even worse.
London.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, when your offense is not in rhythm and is no tempo to it, no sense of urgency or none of that. It just looks like, it looks like high school mistakes. And what I mean by that, something that you should know at this point in your career, because you went through high school, you went through college. So sense of urgency is something that every NFL player should have, not only the quarterback, but coaches, players, all of them should have a sense of urgency. So they played better last week on offense, even though they still made mistakes. But I feel like, again, this game right here, it's one last shot. If they lose this game, no playoff, and you might be seeing a lot of coaching
You think this
changes.
the last shot for the guys to get in there for real?
Oh yeah, because like I said, you look at what's going on in the NFC East. You got the Dallas Cowboys, you had the Philadelphia Eagles. Even though Washington, it looks like they're in the same boat we're in because they had the same record, I think. Then you look at the NFC North, you got 3 teams: Detroit Lions, Green Bay Packers, and even the Chicago Bears. NFC West, every single team, even the Arizona Cardinals still have a chance. You look at who else? NFC South, you got Tampa Bay running away with the division, and yeah, even the Panthers are playing better. So I think if they lose this game, man, the playoffs are probably going to be 10% chance at that point. So it's just that sad, man. But like I said, when you look at this list right here in diversity, the team that can spread the ball the most around the most, those are the teams that are pretty much successful. Because as me and Chris have talked about Seattle Seahawks with Mike McDonald, he brought in Clint Kubiak, who we know can run a West Coast style offense and pretty good at it with the Houston Texans. Shane Steichen, and that's the crazy thing. Shane Steichen has only been in Indy, I think, 2 or 3 years. So he's come in, put down his blueprint, and stuck to it. Same with Josh McDaniels. He's been running the same offense since he worked under Bill Belichick as a passing game coordinator. So one thing about it, you got to have rhythm, you got to have momentum, and you got to have a sense of urgency when it comes to offense and spreading the ball around. This is why these teams are succeeding, man. And this is why not all Bijan, not all Drake London, not all Kyle Pitts, not only one person, everybody getting involved. Why? Because it takes a team to win a football game.
Now, I will say this. Now Michael Penix doesn't get sacked like that. Like, he's only been sacked 10 times, and that's pretty low for a starting quarterback. So kudos to Michael Penix being able to get the ball out. Kudos to the offensive line, especially the first. I'll say about 6 games for holding up before everything before disaster really struck.
Right.
But also Michael Penix Jr., I just was looking, and Michael Penix Jr. right now is ranked 26th in passing touchdowns because he has 8. And he's tied right now with the Aints Spencer Rattler with 8 touchdowns.
And the common denominator with a lot of these coaches that are at the bottom, they're first to second year guys. So when you look at first to second year guys, let me make sure I'm putting it right. Let me make sure I'm getting it right. Zach Taylor is the veteran at the bottom. Zach Taylor and Zach Taylor, Kevin O'Connell, and Kevin Stefanski, all of those guys, they're pretty much in the same ballpark. Well, Zach Taylor, he's been around longer than any of those guys, but
you want to know something that all 3 of those guys have in common?
Go ahead.
You want to know all 3 of those guys had trouble or have trouble at quarterback?
At the quarterback, yeah, and also when you look at Bo Hardegree in Tennessee, he's actually I think a first or second year guy as well. So and then he has a rookie quarterback. But Kellen Moore in New Orleans, they have a problem at the quarterback position. They have no weapons on offense. They're just going through a complete rebuild. And really, New Orleans and Tennessee. So I expect them to be at the bottom. But Kevin Stefanski and the Browns, they're putting themselves there because they actually have talent But Kevin Stefanski is pretty much pulling a Zach Robinson by not getting anybody but certain people involved. So sometimes you just bring this thing on yourself. Then when you look at Brian Schottenheimer in Dallas, go to the other part of the spectrum. He has the weapons and he's using them properly, even though their defense is not, up to par. Even though I think it'll get better with the addition of Quentin Williams, they still got weapons and they're utilizing them. But one thing that the Falcons definitely need to do,
Michael Parsons, man, we got to keep it real.
Agreed.
But yeah, continue.
But yeah, with Brian Schottenheimer, man, and that team, they're just utilizing the talent. Like I said, with the Falcons, if they don't figure that out and get a hold of it quick, this season could go to hell in the handbasket real quick. And we've already traded away our first round pick, and that really don't matter because, like I said, the hell with them picks. I think we got a superb player, but at the same time, you got to use those. If you made that move, you got to get the best out of his potential while you can.
And last thing, I must say, there are a couple of guys that are first-year head coaches or first-time coordinators who teams are winning. I mean, Ben Johnson and them, they're starting to get it together. You look at what's that team? You look at
Ben Johnson in Chicago is a great example. Because the Bears, they were having problems early on. They were having problems getting on the same page. And I give you one better, the one above him, China Inkstrand. And the New York Jets. That team, they've traded away their best defensive players. They tried to trade the best running back, but couldn't get the right deal. They're struggling at the quarterback with Justin Fields and Tyrod Taylor. So these are examples that the Falcons should be able to learn from. Now, one that surprises me is probably Sean McVay, because in LA they got any kind of weapon that you can name: Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams,
he's been hurt,
Kyron Williams, Tyler Higbee. I mean, they have weapons, but when you get one dimensional, it's just hard, man. It's just hard. But maybe they'll turn it around, but we'll see. We're halfway through the season. So let's see what the second half of the season brings. And we'll know exactly where we go from there.
I think Nick Cayley for the Houston Texans, that's another one.
Right, because that was you said the Houston Texans?
I believe this is his first time as offensive coordinator. Yeah, he helped to coordinate the passing attack.
Yeah, because they had Bobby Slovic last year, right?
Yeah,
right.
He helped the passing attack with the Rams, but he is a first-time offensive coordinator. So, just
we talking about trees. It seems like Sean McVay gonna get the next one to have a tree. I guess he's falling on that rail with Andy Reid, but everybody can't beat Sean McVay. You got to be yourself and learn on your own, and dig your own route. But it happens.
Hey, but he's making it happen because Houston, they have a winning record. Don't know what's going to happen right now with I know CJ Stroud. He took a nasty hit last week, so I think he's still in concussion protocol. I think he's already been ruled out for this week's game. So they're going to be missing their quarterback there. But overall, yeah, this is another guy who is working on it and trying to get it done. But we're still trying to
B. Robin said we need to run the outside zone and pressure Daniel Jones. He would rather against Pittsburgh. But the thing about it, I think we get a break with this week with DeForest Buckner not playing. So that might, lighten up that defense just a little bit. But if we know how Nate Ollie, he was in Indianapolis, he knows what to expect. If he can pick off what they're trying to do offensively, I think we'll have a decent chance because I'm telling y'all, I said it last other day, Jonathan Taylor at the least going to get 75 yards because he's just that type dude. I know he had, 45 against the Steelers last week, but that's not going to happen this week. Why? Because the Steelers build their defense a certain kind of way. They're built stout in the middle. So when you're built stout in the middle and you're able to control your run lanes, those are the type of results you get. We have not been able to do that. One, because Zach Harrison has been he's been out the last couple of games. He was a key part to the interior of the line. You have David Onyemata, you have Dorles, you have Roro. So when you see the way they played against the Patriots last week, it gives you hope. But you still need that veteran presence and those guys, those big guys up front, and that big front on the offensive line against a guy like Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, you got to, because I mean, hey, that guy right now, he's running like a man on a mission, and we have the tall task of stopping him. But nothing is impossible, man. This defense has already shown you that they definitely get after it. And if it wasn't for like plays on the defense last week, the Atlanta Falcons probably lose that game, or that game is just about over in the first half last week. And the defense has been the constant or consistent all season long. It's just offense have got to just get on point and get on page with them. And also the Steelers, shoot, man, they made plays and they made roster changes, on the off season, mid-season and everything. They're trying to get it together, because they just got Kyle Duggar, and I know he paid dividends in that game against the Colts. So it just, hey, at the end of the day, teams do what they got to do, and we got to do the same thing.
Facts, and when you got the right personnel, it just makes a whole world of difference. I've been saying, I know 3 to 4, maybe 5 years that we've needed a space eater, but have they went out and broke the bank on one? No, they haven't, but hopefully they'll wake up. But that's true, Raymond. They don't adapt and they don't adjust during the game, and that's a problem. When you can't adapt to what the other team is doing, and they find a way to adapt to you, that's an absolute problem. That's how you lose football games. But let's get into what we came to talk about, man. Frustration with the fans, man. As fans, I know frustration kicks in because of the team is not playing the way you want them to, or what's been going on with the coaching and things of that nature. This guy in the back, Kirk Cousins, he's been a distraction. We've been talking about this guy right here and Zach Robinson. So as I look at it, man, y'all got a right to be right, and be mad, because this guy got out to a historic start in Bijan Robinson, but now he's fell all the way off the map as to coming. I think he's still like 5th or 6th in the league and yard from scrimmage, but the first 5 games he was on a record pace, and it seemed like everything was going fine. Everybody was happy, even though the record didn't dictate it. But I mean, for some reason, man, we seen it coming. Yeah, we seen it coming. But let's start with this one right here. This is a message that I got in my Twitter comments. And, I welcome the comments. Like I said, man, don't have a problem with it. I love to read the comments, but, the blatant disrespect just don't sit well with me. Xavier Beard, 4610, man. And I'm going to read it as I go, and I'm going to answer it as I go. And Chris, you feel free to jump in. First paragraph. Y'all want to Bill arrogate to coach? Pause. No, I did not want Bill. I said Bill would have been a good hire, and I was sitting there when I said it. I said Bill would have been a good hire. Why? Because he would have had structure in place. And you see it right now in New England with Mike Vrabel. He's busting that team down, building structure, building a team that he wants. He's building players that's going to fit that scheme, not going after first-round picks all the time. Because if y'all remember, and correct me if I'm wrong, when Bill Belichick had a first-round pick in the 20s, he would trade back into the second round and get 3 to 4 picks, depending on how far he traded back. So it's all about who you're putting in to fit your system and how they fit your system. And this is why I wanted Bill Belichick, or this is why I would have liked to have Bill Belichick, because I know what he brings as a coach. Raheem Morris did not show me anything as interim coach, being 4-7 after they fired Dan Quinn. And let's finish with this, and then I'll keep going. That is why y'all are giving Raheem so much grief. Absolutely not true. I believe some of y'all should just throw your name in the hat for a coach of a high school team before you talk badly about an NFL coach. The thing about the thing about the last part of that sentence, just like you have your opinion about what you spewing out right now, we have our opinion as well. It's just that simple, point blank, period. Just like you having an opinion right here, this is same thing with us. We have an opinion. But
Man,
that first part of that, man, go ahead, Chris.
no, I was just about to say my thing is it's wild. I mean, I don't know who all necessarily wanted Bill Belichick here, but it wasn't nobody on this panel right now. I mean, I know I know I know Smitty, you said you wanted Mike McDonald. I know I was looking at
Right.
Jim Harbaugh myself. I was thinking quarterback whisperer, somebody that played the quarterback position. I'm thinking Michael Penix Jr., somebody that, Michael Penix can actually learn from, somebody that played that position, played it at a high level at one point in time, got different guys' careers on point, guys like Alex Smith, guys like Colin Kaepernick, so I'm looking guys like JJ McCarthy. So it's like I look at all that and I'm looking at the talent that Michael Penix could have had. And that's what I was thinking about, that possible mesh. I know that some people say Harbaugh never wanted to come here. I just feel like if you offer him enough, you can change people's minds. But at the end of the day, that's neither here or there anymore.
But point blank with that, Chris, I'm glad you brought that up. The point with some of these coaches, the reason why they did not hire them, a lot of these coaches wanted more power than what the Falcons were willing to give. This was a breaking point in a couple of those interviews, because if you look at what's going on in New England, Vrabel, he probably wanted total control as to how he was going to build his roster, and that's fine, because like Bill Parcells used to say, if you're going to shop for the groceries, you might as well get what you want. So when you look at Jim Harbaugh, pretty much the same thing, even though he probably don't have as much control over that as Vrabel. You look at Mike McDonald, same thing. And what did we just talk about the other day, Chris? As a head coach, you put coaches around you that can build you up when you're not seeing things clearly. What did Mike McDonald do in Seattle? He went out and got Clint Kubiak. Clint Kubiak has that offense running on high cylinder. He went out and got Sam Darnold, a guy that on the bottom of that list was Kevin O'Connell. He was the former he's the play caller in Minnesota, and he had Sam Darnold last year, and he was part of the reason for the turnaround. So Clint Kubiak is just building off what he done, and that's the thing about coaches. They put themselves in the position to win by having like-minded coaches that not scared to challenge them. When you have a assistant, whether it's offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, position coach, if they challenge you, you should welcome. Why? Because they see something that you don't see, and that could help you become a better coach. And that's what I'm saying. This is why Bill Belichick made sense. It ain't that I wanted. This is why Mike McDonald made sense. This is why Jim Harbaugh made sense. Make it make sense. And see, this is what I'm saying. Y'all can spew this stuff out, but until y'all listen to logic as to what we're saying, instead of getting butt hurt about, what's been going on. Yeah, don't get me wrong. He's a minority coach. I get that. But, he's just not cutting it, man. He's just not cutting it. He talks a good game, but he's not backing it up. And somebody just said it. Raymond just said it in the comments. If you can't adjust as a head coach, how are you going to succeed in this league? Because it already cost us a Super Bowl. Let's reread, right, Chris? Adjustment cost us a Super Bowl.
Yeah, it costs us a Super Bowl. It costs you everything. Like, honestly, if you're not able to adjust in this league and be able to adapt to what offenses or defenses are throwing at you, we are in a winning business. You don't get nothing off of morale victories, even though sometimes we love morale victories, and we've given out plenty to our beloved Atlanta Falcons when they do well. But they just happen to not, be able to finish the game. We still give them their credit, but we also talk about where they possibly could have went wrong at, or where they possibly could have got better at. I feel like that's anything that a normal fan or a diehard fan would have been like, man, if we could have just got this, or man, if that could have just happened, so maybe we could have got the win. That's normal. That's everybody's opinion. And, it's a way to do and say everything.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's all I'm saying. And see, and then I'm gonna just go on. We at the second paragraph. Coaches coach and players play. That's true. We don't have an organizational issue. That's a lie. Because structure is something we definitely don't have. We have a lower fan issue. That's not true either. Because I've been a fan 32, 36 years and I've seen much worse than this team right here. So that's not true at all. This platform, one of the main culprits. Everybody has an opinion until they get in the seat. And and don't get me
Mm.
wrong, that's
All
true
right.
to a certain extent by coaching.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
ain't never put on a football uniform. I ain't never coached now. But as far as me studying the game and watching what's going on and watch football as long as I have, one thing they say, history repeats itself. So if you see something happening in the past and it's coming back up again because of simple mistakes that they're making, guess what? It's bound to repeat itself. And it has nothing to do with this platform. It just has to do with you watching football and you really know what's going on. It's just that simple. If you
And
don't pay attention to what's going on and you don't see the same patterns happening, that lets me know you're a casual fan. You just go by what he say, she say. If
and
you can break
and
down
also
film, let me know. Go ahead.
Smitty, just my last thing about on this one, because I know I have one too. Just the whole thing about being fans of other teams and everything like that. See, like everybody, I respect their opinion. But one thing you can't do is tell me what team to be a fan of,
Right.
because I love my Falcons and I'm always going to love my Falcons. I'm always going to support this team no matter good or bad. I look at it like this. If you're still here after 28-3, then hey, you're a Falcon fan. There's no such
Right.
thing as a bandwagon Falcon fan. No such thing as a bandwagon Falcon fan. We have people that are bandwagon, that are off and on. They're hot and cold. When we're winning, they're here. When we're losing, they're not. But this platform, I know Smitty, I say himself, and I know me personally. No matter good, bad, happy, sad, angry, stupid, smart, it don't matter. It don't matter. At the end of the day, I'm a Falcon fan for life, and I'm never going to tell anybody, and I never have, no matter how frustrated I've been with anybody or anything anyone has said, I've never told anybody, you should go find
Right.
another team.
Right.
It's
But
just
the
all
thing
about
about it,
how
Chris,
to say things and respect, each other.
right. And the thing about it, man, how many of y'all were actually around when I started watching football in 1989 when I got into it, full time? As a 10-year-old, I just started to take notice because I knew what Dion brought to the season, the swag that he brought, because it was just something new. But before he got here, and I still remember these games, probably 8, 9 years old, 7, 8, 9 years old. Falcons only had one star on the team, and that was Jerry Riggs. He carried the Falcons literally for 5 years. And you mean to tell me I'm not a fan and I've seen worse than this? And I told y'all, if y'all, a lot of y'all were fans back then, a lot of y'all probably wouldn't be fans right now. Because in the 80s, the Falcons, other than at the beginning of the decade when they made it to the NFC Championship, from 80 to 83 was their best years. 84 to 89, they got back to being the same old Falcons, 3-12. I'm sorry, 3-13, 4-12, 2-14. So if y'all couldn't do that, y'all just let me know. Y'all just let me know. But let me read the last
I
part,
got
and then,
one.
then we're gonna move on.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
here you go.
it says this is the last part. Oh yeah, none of you are qualified for an NFL head coach job. Stay a fan and watch the game. I believe the entire platform should be fans of other teams. It's not too late to find another team. And
Yeah, that's
look,
like,
that lets me know right there. That lets me know right there. You mad because we see the game different from you. That's all it is. You mad at us because we speak the truth out of what we done read, what we done researched, how things are going, and you mad about it. Even analytics. We talk about analytics on the show. And you mean to tell me you mad at us because we telling y'all about what's going on the field, in the locker room, behind the scenes, and all of that stuff? What you mad about? It just let me know, man. You sit up and talk a good game, but at the end of the day, are you man or woman enough to get on this mic and do what we do because y'all think it's easy? Just because y'all sit behind a keyboard or behind a screen, that y'all think getting in front of thousands of folks at a time, millions of folks, that y'all think is easy. It's not. So if you want to keep being that keyboard guy that, keep spewing that negativity and that ignorance, go right ahead. Because one thing about me, I put you on blast and you look, you wouldn't never want to look at my show again because, if I respect you, I expect the same thing. And that's all I'm saying.
That's all about respect.
If I respect you, respect my platform. I'm not going to block you because I'm going to let you see my success. And, there's a lot of people in this chat. If I say something and they get offended, just like the other day, Chris, when we was on the live Sunday, it was either Sunday or the Tuesday before. People let me know how they felt. And I told them I respected their opinion. And I told them it wasn't no hard feeling because sometimes I'm not right all the time. Don't get me wrong. But when it comes to talking about the Falcons, let me see you get on the platform and, talk, stats, talk about what's going on in the game, talking about, what's going on with the offense and how it's working, how the defense working. Just, do your job as a podcaster influencer. Let me see you do it, and then we can talk.
Y'all don't got Smitty riled up, man. Y'all don't got him
D,
riled
what's up, my guy? What's up, D?
Yes, yeah, man. What's good, y'all? I said I was here when Chris Redmond started. Woo!
Exactly. My point exactly. D said it doesn't matter if you go or not being a fan. Being a fan is a fan. That's absolutely true.
Yeah, man. And again, we absolutely love this team. Win or lose, frustrations and all. I'm a Falcon fan for life. Exactly. But this one right here, I was actually surprised about.
Hold on. One more. I'm probably gonna let you go. But this is a true story right here.
Oh yeah, facts. Now, come on now.
D has even done a show with me before. And D, he's voiced his frustration with me many a times, and we even went head to head a couple of times. But you know what? At the end of the day, me and D still have respect for each other because he told me how he felt, I told him how I felt, and we just moved on to the next situation, and we didn't, keep talking about it. And that's the thing. If you can come in and have a conversation and talk about what's bothering you, that's fine. But when you go and tell us what we should not do, that's a problem for me because I'm putting my sweat and tears into this thing, man. Y'all are not.
Yeah, man, for real.
Oh yeah, my bad.
Like so much of this has been for free. Like a lot of people don't be understanding until it'd be a while before you got to do a lot of this stuff for free. Like it's because you love. Like you got to love to do this, and like if you don't, it'll show whether you want it to or not. You know what I'm saying? So again, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, like I was saying, this one, Smitty, I believe the frustration coming from ATL sports, period. There has been a downer in all Atlanta sports, in all sports except for the Braves and the Bulldogs lately. Yeah, there's some truth to that, but we're trying to change the culture of that one step at a time, but we need the right people in all the right places to be able to do that. But again, like I said, man, I had actually a comment that came through on on my channel on one of my videos, and it surprised me because for one thing, not a lot of people comment, but when they do, it's normally something good. But this just bothered me because I feel like it was attacking. I feel like this is attacking everybody. And VTech, I guess 1010 1DS. I mean, you say great show as always, but if it's okay, I want to give a little constructive criticism. In my opinion, you and Smitty should not do shows with everyone. I get that you guys want to help podcasters to get out there and get their footing, but I've been wanting to say this for a while. I don't think you guys should attach your name to everyone. I don't mean any disrespect to anyone. It's just been on my heart to tell you that. And to now, I will say this. For the last part, it's been on your heart to say that, okay, that's your opinion. I respect it and everything. Like, it's cool. I respect the opinion. I do. But on the flip side, what my opinion on how I feel about that, I just don't like that. And especially like on my platform, my personal platform, I don't like that kind of negativity on it, because at the end of the day, yes, me and Smitty, especially Smitty and Berto, I will say, are one of the two guys that introduced me to this Falcon space. I didn't even know there was so many Falcon fans, especially podcasters. And Smitty and Berto, so they brought me in straight up. So I always would give a salute to those brothers for that. But also, I don't like, that whole like downing things and everything, saying about not who I should do shows with and everything. I'm a pretty good judge of character, and if I don't do shows with somebody, that's a personal preference. And I don't have any gripes or any grudges with anybody. Like I don't dislike anybody. But if I just decide to do a show with somebody or not do a show with somebody, or if we decide to let the chat come in and speak their opinions, like I feel like that is our prerogative, and that's just something that we do for our show. We enjoy when the fans come in and speak on the platform, and they enjoy it as well. So being able to come off to let off some frustration or big up the team, whatever. We enjoy that type of stuff like that. That's just something that we've always loved to do, to share the platform with our people. So to say that I don't think you guys should be doing shows with everybody and helping out podcasters and stuff like that, that's your opinion, and I respect it, but I respectfully decline it, sir. Respectfully. Like we're going to continue to help podcasters get their footing. We're going to continue to do shows. We're going to continue to let people come in, because that's what we're about. So again, I respect the opinion, and I don't think that you're trying to be disrespectful to a degree, but at the end of the day, I just don't like that. Like I don't like that. And it's not even constructive criticism to me, because you didn't critique nothing that necessarily we did. You're basically saying that we shouldn't let fans or shouldn't let other podcasters do shows with us, and that's why I disagree with you.
And I'm gonna keep it sweet and simple. And I tell y'all this all the time. And Chris done said most of it. But let me put it in this kind of context. Do you know that all of the hard work that we put in to get these people from the radio station 92.9 The Game, former Falcons, Chuck Smith, Justin Tugger, Bob Whitfield, John Abraham, they can tell us no just at the drop of a dime, and we got to deal with it. But they take time out their busy schedule to help us. They see us grow. And a lot of them have been backing me since I was probably about the last 5-6 years. I started in 2019. Let me see, Lamar Jackson got drafted in 2018. So I got on YouTube heavy probably around 2019. And a lot of those guys, I talk to them on the phone. I, text them to make sure they're good. They don't have to take time out their busy schedule to do that. They do it because they want to see us succeed. Another guy, and he told me this himself, Steve Weiss. He told me and Chris during the show, he said, I want to see y'all grow, and I like what y'all do, man. And when you get compliments like that, why not spread it to somebody else that's trying to grow on YouTube and do their thing and get their feet up under them? Why is that a problem? I mean, just because y'all don't like their delivery or how they present themselves on camera, don't y'all know I had to learn too? And my boy tell you, when I started back in 2014, I was barely talking to the damn microphone. Now I can't shut up. So it's one thing about it. Everybody grows at their own pace.
We all had to grow.
They grow at their own pace.
And we still growing. That's the thing. And we still growing.
Still growing. And think about it, man. Patience is the key to life. Because you see, let me tell you why. You see a lot of YouTubers out here growing, and a lot of
them don't help nobody. For real.
Yeah,
for real. A lot of them don't.
Yeah, a lot of them don't help nobody. And when you look at it, it's a competition with a lot of folks, and that's not me. Competition is one thing about it, man. That one of the truest things in the Bible. And I'm not gonna, get church on y'all, but one of the truest things is God's time is impeccable. And when it's your time, it's your time. That's why I don't rush nothing. I just keep going day by day by day. And I've seen it already. Because as I told y'all, and I know about a handful of people that was with me then, still with me now when I had 48 subs. I had 48 subs about 4.5 months. And I done told Chris this story about 3 or 4 times. I had 48 subs for a long time and thought about giving it up. But what my grandmama tell me, she said, no, you don't never know what's going to happen. So you got to keep pushing. And that's what I did. When I found my niche and I started to get my confidence up, my subs started to go up. My followers started to go up. And now I'm at, 15,000? I never thought 5 years ago I would get to that. Why? Because I was stuck at 48 so long. And right now, to this day, I can get to a certain spot and be stuck for about 3 weeks. I don't say nothing. I just keep doing content.
Yeah, you got to keep on going,
Done
bro.
got, hey, I done got demonetized twice. Did I stop? No, because money is not the factor in doing this. It's nice to get rewards from doing this,
Of
but I
course.
do it because I love it. When
Right.
you do something because you love it, I mean, yeah, money good, but it is not everything. Because, like Chris said, a lot of people who watch this show, watched us, they say exactly what Chris said. Hey man, thank you for coming in. Let me talk on the show. Let me, get my thoughts on, especially after a loss. After a loss, them was some of our best shows. Why?
Mm.
Because y'all let the frustration out and y'all went on about y'all business to the next Sunday or the next
And,
Thursday, whenever
and
they
it's a
play.
safe space to let yourself frustrate. I would rather, you never know. You know what I'm saying? And this is like just my last little tad bit on it, because you just never know
All right.
who can come on your platform, get out their frustration maybe on your platform. And I'm not even saying come on here cursing or anything, fussing, all that stuff like that, but just getting your frustrations, because you never know. You may have went out and had that pent up frustration, and you never know, put your hands on somebody, did something you wouldn't normally do, because sports, you know what I'm saying, it will jab at your emotions.
It's an outlet. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it just, so if we have helped anybody be an outlet to not go out and do something crazy and everything like that, we're happy to do it. It don't, saying, we're not looking for anything from anybody at all. We do this because we love the Falcons and we love podcasting. So it's just really that simple,
And
so
and the thing about it, man, and Berto will tell you himself. Me and Berto had one conversation on the phone before we started doing it. And the only thing I told Berto is to act like we having a FaceTime call. That's all you got to do. And when we did the first show, no one could tell me, or no one could tell that Berto had never done it before. Because we were sitting there just having a conversation, man. We were just sitting there having a conversation, just like me and Chris always have a conversation. Just like we have a conversation with y'all. That's what it's about, a conversation. If you agree with it, fine. If you don't agree with it, that's fine too. But at the end of the day, sports still gonna go on. Show still gonna go on.
and I'm still
I
gonna
mean,
tell you, rise up.
right.
you know,
So I mean,
regardless.
look, man. T Will, what's up, my guy?
What's
He said,
happening?
fellow content creator, I appreciate what y'all do. Smitty, Chris. I know that it takes a lot of time, patience, and effort to put out content weekly and consistently. And that's the thing about it, man. When I'm doing content, I'm working on content 24 hours a day. Soon as a story drop, I'm on it. Soon as another story drop, I'm on it. I might not put it out all the time, but I'm watching every single thing that goes on. And see, that's what I said. That's what I said in the beginning. Y'all don't know how hard it is to do this stuff and put this stuff together, man. It's not easy at all. We got to research for every single show we do. Every single show. We got to do numbers, analytics, study the people that we have on. We got to do all of that, man.
It
So
takes it's a lot that goes into it, man. But everybody that's serious about it, they already know what we're talking about. Everybody who's thinking about getting into it or just getting into it, they're starting to see it's a grind, man. It really is. And if there's anybody that we can help along the way, we're gonna do it just because we're appreciative for people helping us along the way. Like, I mean, some of the people that we've met and some of the people we talked to is just like, man. And for some of them to be as down to earth as they are and help us and to come speak to us about our team or about just our culture, regardless, like we really appreciate it. So that's why it's all about giving back. That's what we need to do more of, giving back, you know. But
Yep.
hey, man, that's all I got to really say about that. Let's just continue to try to respect one
Man, let
another.
let
Uplift.
just continue respectful, man. And man, don't get me wrong. Y'all can say whatever y'all want in my comments. I ain't got to respond. But one thing about it, you're not gonna disrespect the people that come on this platform looking to grow in this community. You're not gonna do that on my channel. Like I said, you thought it was constructive criticism, but it was just you telling me who you wanted on my platform.
Right. I mean, if you just want to see me and Smitty, that's cool. You could just be like, man, you can just not say what you said and just tune in to where you just see me and Smitty, I guess. But at the end of the day, again, you can't tell us who to be fans of. You can't tell us who to have on our shows and who not to do shows with, especially if it's the Falcon community. Like to even suggest it to not have them on after a win or a loss is just pretty bizarre. I ain't gonna lie, that's pretty bizarre to me,
Right.
especially if
Right.
that person is a Falcon fan.
Right. But like I said, man, y'all keep it respectful, man. And tonight we'll be back on to give
Oh
y'all
yeah,
our
we will.
Falcon Friday update because we know y'all need to know about them injuries, man, because it's gonna be ugly for the next couple of weeks, maybe. But we'll see how it go, man. Dan, what's up, my guy? But we'll see how it
Hey,
go. Uh, that boy Fly 81 was good, man. But see,
yeah,
we will be on a little bit later, man, to give y'all our Falcon Friday update to keep y'all updated on what's going on with the injuries, latest news. We would definitely get in talk a little bit about what happened with Marshawn Nealon yesterday. Prayers out to his family, man. That was a sad
yeah.
situation. And it goes back to what me and Chris was saying just a little bit earlier, man. We finna go. But you just don't know how much talking to someone or just smiling at somebody can make their day because you never know what's going on with them mentally. He just had a great game on Sunday. In the next couple of days, he was gone. And that's why they say life is short, man. Let bullshit ride, man. You got to. Because mental health is no joke. Truest conversation I've ever had with an NFL player was Barrett Robbins. Y'all go look that name up and do the research on it. I had a 45-minute conversation with him about 10 years ago. And it just changed the way I looked at doing podcasting totally because just go look. Just Barry Robbins is his name, former Oakland Raiders center. If y'all go look at his story, man, when I had a conversation with him, look, it changed my life and it changed the way I look at everything. And I've been through a lot myself with my health, but y'all just don't know how tough mental health is, man. It's a blessing to be able to think straight every day. It's a blessing. So just don't take nothing for granted, man. Just don't take nothing for granted. Live your life, have fun. And Chris, if you got anything else to say, man, we can roll on out.
Nah, man, just let's just continue to uplift one another. Find your peace. It is noon. Get you some lunch, some brunch, whatever you need. You know what I'm saying? Find your peace today because the positive energy always creates elevation at the end of the day. Even though we talk about the good and the bad, at the end of the day, if we can just end everything with as much positivity as we possibly can, I feel like we can overcome
Right.
a lot. You know,
Even when the Falcons lose, we can be positive. We can find something positive.
definitely
Because
can.
when we wake up every day, that's the biggest blessing of the day. And some of y'all don't even think about that. Some of y'all wake up with hate in y'all heart every day and frustration and just bullshit every day till y'all don't realize waking up is a blessing every day. But y'all got to learn that, some of y'all. But hey, it is what it is. But like I said, man, we'll see y'all tonight sometime. We don't know what time of the show, but it may be a little late. We don't know. But trust me, if y'all gonna be there, we already know who's gonna be there because some of y'all stay up like vampires.
I'm
Uh,
telling you.
but but we gonna holler at y'all soon, man. Peace.